My net worth is my experience. You can never create that same memory twice. Is that you cannot win all the time and you cannot lose all the time also. When I was almost knocked out of the tournament in China, the Asian Games gold medal in 2006, I said this is my Diwali gift.
I'm thrilled to welcome the illustrious snooker player, the champion, Arjuna Awardee, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Mr. Pankaj Advani, to our fireside chat. His journey in the world of snooker is nothing short of extraordinary, and we are privileged to have him share his insights with us. So, not taking much of the time, Mr. Pankaj, first question to you is, how does it feel to be back at school?
I actually thought that you were going to ask me how does it feel to win so many titles and be an accomplished sportsman, but yeah, that caught me by surprise. Look, I feel as young as any one of you sitting over here, coming back to school, although I'm not technically. It's just wonderful to be part of a sporting event. Swheta, thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj. So, what is going to be like, if you were to say, your most memorable win?
Just like they say, your first love, or I'm not sure whether you'll have experienced that. Sorry, Ella, you're way too young, or maybe you have, some of you. Back in 2003, I was 18 years old. I was in China playing the World Championships on debut for the first time, representing India at snooker, and I had absolutely no chance of winning that tournament. 2 weeks of non-stop action. I was almost out of the tournament. Have any of you heard of the word fluke? Do you know what fluke means?
Yes.
Yeah, it came from the sport of billiards where you try to pocket a ball in a particular place where you intend to pot, a ball in one particular pocket, and by mistake, it doesn't go where you want it to, but it goes in another pocket, and you still get those points. So an unintended shot. And that was what happened to me when I was almost knocked out of the tournament in China. I was about to lose a match to a Chinese player. I fluked the ball, and from there, I went on to win the match. And then I went on to eventually win the title, defeating a Pakistani player in the final. So
That's some victory.
that is happened to be Diwali, October 25th, 2003. So whenever all the media people ask me, about the tournament, and I said this is my Diwali gift to the nation.
I know, everybody would have Googled you up. What is very, very, what came across for a 10-year-old to be inspired? And was it to have a sibling like Shri, being a mentor to you, introducing the sport? How much did he play the role of getting you to the champion that you are?
Yeah, Shri, my elder brother, started playing this sport before me, and I used to follow him to the snooker club, which was just 2 minutes from my house, every day, like a tail, and wonder what is this sport all about. As a student, all of us are exposed to the conventional sports, isn't it? Basketball, cricket, table tennis, badminton. Which other sports am I forgetting? Football, which other ones? Right? I'm sure all of you have played those sports, right? But have you ever played on a snooker table? Most of you would say no. It was the same for me. So I followed him, and obviously, since I was really short, I couldn't reach the table initially. So I just observed how the sport was being played, the technique, the rules, figuring things out, and I was fascinated. So 3 weeks later, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a shot now. I don't care what the owner of that snooker club says, what you say, I want to take a shot on the table. And the first shot that I took, the ball disappeared into the pocket. The first shot ever that I played on a pool table. So you could say that maybe I don't know, I feel that, God has blessed me with the talent and I'm grateful for it. And since then, I've never really looked back. I was going, and every sports person, if you are into sport, you will understand this, that you cannot win all the time. And you cannot lose all the time also if you work hard enough and you're sincere. So there was a rough patch that I went through about 15, 17 years ago. And he helped me come out of it. And the training exercises that he gave me, the things that he changed, my internal representations, my approach to the game, the confidence, how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with pressure of performance, that changed my mindset altogether. And I went on to win the Asian Games gold medal in 2006. which was a turning point in my career. So I guess I'm really indebted. I mean, sorry, I was talking about my journey, but Shree's contribution has been immense, and I believe that we all must have that one person who can guide us. It could be a friend, it could be a teacher, it could be a director, Paul, who can be there for you, you can pick up the phone and say, listen, I have this problem. It could be a personal life, it could be a professional life. Somebody who's older, who can guide you, who's had enough life experience. Because if they are on your side, trust me, they will give you the best advice. So make use of that. Be grateful for the people who have supported you, and you will go far.
I was just going to add this. Like, I was watching these reels, and in one of it, Indra Nui was saying that like it's very important to have a mentor in life, and you cannot choose your mentor. The mentor chooses you, right?
So true.
So I'm glad that you had one, and both of you have really enriched each other's journey. So, Ms. Shubha, I would ask your students to be posing the questions now.
Okay. So first question, I just want to know what's the difference between snooker and billiards?
Nice. Do you have an American accent? Is that an American accent?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you're born there. Okay. So do you?
No, I wasn't born in America though.
Oh, you lived there.
No, I didn't live there at all.
Oh, you didn't live there. Wow. I love that accent, by the way. Lovely. I mean, I wish I had that when I traveled abroad, so it'd be easy for the foreigners to understand me. But no, anyway, I'm sincerely, praising you. So billiards and snooker both are played on the same table, a 12 by 6 feet big table. Billiards is played with 3 balls, yellow, white, and red, and snooker is played with 22 balls, where you see the red balls shaped in the form of a triangle, and there are 6 color balls and 1 white ball. Now, the scoring patterns of each of the two sports differ a lot. Like in billiards, for example, the ball with which you strike can also go inside the pocket, and that's a scoring shot. But in snooker, if you pot the red ball and if your white ball goes in, your striker ball goes in, then it's a foul. So you're not allowed to, pocket the ball with which you strike. So there are quite a few differences in the scoring patterns of both games. Of course, I would have to show it to you on a billiards and snooker table. Theoretically, it's very difficult and technical in terms of how to explain the difference.
So which one is easier to play?
So, in fact, it's good that you asked me this, because at the start of my career, when I won my first world title that I shared with you in 2003 on Diwali, I went back to my coach and I said, listen, I want to now specialize in billiards. And most of the senior players and my coach started laughing at me, saying that, listen, you're good at snooker, just stick to it. You won a world title, please don't shift your focus to billiards. But I wanted to redefine the word specialization. Why does it have to be restricted to just specializing in only one particular field? Everybody in my world, in the world of cue sports, either won in billiards or in snooker. And I said, let me redefine the word specialization and achieve in both sports. And it was only the belief, trust me, that led me to where I am today with multiple world titles in either sport. So, these sports are very technical, but you don't need to have like immense knowledge of geometry or rocket. It's not rocket science. I know a lot of people say, oh, you've got to play it at this angle, and then the ball ricochets at, whatever. So, just enjoy the game really at the end of the day. And so, in fact, I'm sure basically, since I can show you have this American accent from somewhere, you must have heard of pool.
Yeah.
You heard of pool, right? 9-ball pool, 8-ball pool. So pool is another version of cue sports that's played on a smaller table with bigger pockets, with the spots and the stripes, right? So that's pool. And now pool is something that people play at a more recreational level in India. Of course, it's huge in the US, it's huge in Southeast Asia and certain parts of Europe, and now even China. But billiards and snooker are played on bigger tables, which are slightly more technical. So if any of you have, want to start playing this game, don't get disheartened, because it can be difficult initially. But once you get the hang of it, trust me, it's one of the most beautiful sports to play.
I have a few more questions.
Sure.
So, I'm sorry for calling you up, but how are your studies when you were playing snookers and everything? How are your studies?
So when I started playing this sport, my mom told me, make me a promise that your grades won't suffer. And if a parent asks that of you, you've got to honor that, isn't it? So I told her, okay, I will not let my grades suffer. That doesn't mean, that I'm going to go down completely and then probably, that doesn't mean that I'm going to even achieve 90% or 80%. And I was an above average student, fortunately. Now, the best part about the sport that I played, sorry, what's your name?
I'm Srikar.
Shrikar. Shrikar. So, Shrikar, the best part about the sport that I played was that because it required me to focus so much on the table and the concentration levels that it demanded out of me was so high, I was automatically able to concentrate in class. So I can understand, the attention spans have gone down. But this sport enabled me to grasp better and high concentration spans, prolonged periods of focus, and that actually helped me in school. So I never took back my homework. So coming back to your question, I never took back my homework, back to home, where I would give too much time in my home, to finish off everything. I'll try and finish off everything in school so that I feed up my evening, say about 4:30 to about 6:37, and then probably just have dinner and spend time with family and sleep. So it's all about your priorities. If you want to pursue something, if something really appeals to you, you'll find ways to make it happen.
Yeah. A lot of us here are really into football and we really like watching football. And there's one burning question among all of us. Who do you prefer, Messi or Ronaldo?
This is a messy question. I think I gave you the answer there, but but if you have to ask me my personal favorite, I would still go with Messi because of the World Cup. I think that settles the debate. I'm sorry, all Ronaldo fans.
No more comments, thank you.
Thank you. So, any more questions? Good morning, sir. Like my question is because of every sport, whether it be cricket or billiards, you have to face some mental challenges and like when you're losing or winning. So how do you face them? Like I want to know that.
The thing is, when you're losing a match, you have to then understand that if I end up losing, go to the stage already, go to the part where you've lost and feel that feeling within you. Does it really affect you that much? Is it the end of the world? No, right? We are going to get another opportunity. I understand with exams, some of you may say, oh my God, I'm going to, miss a year and then I'm going to go back one class and not be with the other students. But if it's sport, you do have another opportunity. So it's not the end of the world if you're losing. And very recently, I was playing a final of a match with a very formidable opponent, an Indian opponent. It was an All India Championship, and I was losing. And somebody just changed my mindset. He just told me, let's not talk about the sport at all. Let's not talk about what's happened in the game because there were missed opportunities from my side. I could have been up by a big margin. I messed up over there. And I said, okay, fine, let's talk about something else, your travel, your holidays, or which are the best countries you've been to. And then I went back, I washed my face, had a cup of coffee. I was a completely different player. I ended up winning. Now, that happened because I took my focus off the outcome. I took it off the fact that, am I going to win or not? Oh shit, I'm losing. Is this going to be the end of the road? No. So sometimes it's good to even change things up mentally. We get too caught up in competition, trying to be better than, our opponent. But we lose sight of the fact that we just want to go there and enjoy ourselves. Why do you play? Why do you watch sport? Because you enjoy it, right? It's entertaining for you, right? To watch the Ronaldos and the Messis of the world. Yes, you want to see your favorite win. But at the end of the day, just enjoy the quality and the joy that they bring out in all the sports lovers and fans. You will always get another chance. There is always somebody who's better than you. There's always somebody who's below than you. So just be grateful and keep moving forward. Take what you've got. Move cautiously. Don't let it get to your head, right? Because there's always somebody who's there who's going to replace you in the future. Our positions are never, I'm a world champion, but I know 20 years down the line, there's going to be somebody else replacing me. Or maybe 20, maybe 1 year or maybe 2 months later, but hopefully 20.
So my one more question is, like before the game, how to feel the pressure? Because so you are a player who has faced, like you're deciding like in that one game whether you will be the world champion or you'll be someone random, Yes, so how do you feel that pressure? Like, how do you manage that one?
Very good question, actually. I have to think about this. Now, please sit here. I was going to tell you to sit. Um, so, see, being a world champion, for the first time when I won in China, I was not expected to win. So things were a little easier because the pressure was off. Today, when I enter the arena or when I'm playing a big tournament or even an All India tournament, I'm labeled as the favorite, and that becomes more difficult for me to live up to that billing. But I've now changed my mindset, thinking that I'm just like any other competitor. I may be the best, I may have been the best in the past, but you're only good as your previous performance or as your current performance for that matter. So you have to forget about the past, not rest on your past laurels, and treat every competition and every match as a new game. And that applies to your exams, it applies to your assignments, it applies to anything that you're doing in life. Treat every assignment and task as a new one. Yes, take the confidence from the previous one if you've done well, take that momentum forward, but understand this that it may not turn out as the same way as it did the last time. In fact, you may create better memories, who knows, or it may not go as planned, but take that as a stepping stone and learn from your mistakes and move forward.
Good morning, sir. I wanted to ask that somewhere I've read that you had 104 fever, but still you went for the match. From where did you get that courage?
This was in the Asian Snooker Championships. You can sit, please. It was just a few years ago in 2019. And it was a very significant moment in my career because I'd never won the Asian Snooker Championship. That was the only trophy eluding me for a very long time. So I'd lost 4 finals before that in the earlier editions of the championship. And one of them was in fact to a Pakistani player, which shattered me because I was in a winning position and I managed to lose from there. But that only propelled me to work harder and say, okay, fine, I'm not going to give up on this. So in this particular Asian Snooker Championship in 2019, I was in Doha, and Doha is like second home to me. In fact, I'm leaving for Doha in the next 2 weeks to play yet another Asian Snooker Championship. But in 2019, at the interval, I was 3 frames to one down, and the person who reaches 6 frames wins the title. And I was against this Thai player who was equally capable. So I went to the tournament office. I wanted to have a cup of tea. I was down and out, 104 fever. I didn't know what to do. And luckily, the tournament director told me, he said, I feel really sorry for you. Now, that statement really worked in my favor because I told him, I said, listen, I'm 3-1 down, but the match isn't over as yet. That for me is enough. I said, I'm going to fight as much as I can, as much as my body allows me to. Because he told me that, I feel sorry for you. In fact, he actually helped me. And anybody now, there are 2 ways you could take that statement. You could say, oh, this person's also given up on me. Anyway, I'm down and out. This person has destroyed my confidence even more by saying that, I feel sorry for you. In other words, you lost the match. Or you can say, okay, fine, I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove it to you that I'm not a quitter. I'm a fighter. Right? And that's what exactly happened. I won 5 frames on the trot after that. And I won the match 6-3.
Sir, my question is, who are some of the role models you looked up to when you were a child?
My coach, Arvind Sabur, because of whom I am the player today. In this day and age, to have a coach who can train you without charging a single penny. I want to share with all of you that I lost my father at a very young age. I was just 6 years old. And to have someone like him, literally a father figure, take me under his wings at the tender age of 11. So as soon as I won that first tournament, that handicap tournament, he said, you can come and start training with me. So for me, he is my role model because I knew that from the very beginning that I entered the Karnataka State Billiards Association, that's where I practiced, that's where I started playing the game seriously. I knew that I wanted to be trained by Arvind Uncle and nobody else because I understood that he knew each and every inch of the snooker table. And to have that kind of knowledge is not normal. Only a genius can can apply himself so well on that table. And I said, I want all of your knowledge. And for me, I think people like that is what we need in this world today, who are generous, kind-hearted, and selfless.
Morning, sir. It's my pleasure to be in the same room as you. My dad's a huge fan of yours. I come to one of your games when I was 10. So my first question is, what drove your passion to pursue this unique endeavor in this fascinating sport known as snooker, in which you are known to be a master?
So as I said earlier, that sorry, your name
Soren.
Soren.
Yeah.
Soren. So Soren, again, as I'm a firm believer in destiny. I think things unfolded or happened the way they did, only to lead me to a sport which is unconventional in India. I mean, many people would still ask me, why did you take this up as a career? But I only took it up because I believed that I have a special uh, fondness and love and talent in a sport like this. If somebody had to tell me to take up badminton seriously or cricket and all, I may have done well at the school level, maybe state level, but that's about it. But the moment I took up this sport, and I was introduced luckily by my elder brother, I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and it really consumed me. I was passionate about it. The reason why I took up this sport and I tried to excel in it was because my heart was in it and is still in it. It gave me a reason to look forward to something every day. Every morning I woke up, I looked forward to going on that table and potting those balls and scoring and playing well. And if I may add, I think it transports me to another world altogether. The moment I go onto the table and I start striking the ball, I forget about every single other thing in life. And that's a wonderful feeling, isn't it?
The next question is, what's your net worth?
My net worth is my experience.
Yeah.
This has summarized it so well. So I just feel that we are at the conclusion of the event, right? And this fireside chat has been something, look, more of like, I wouldn't say flukes, but a few googlies also. And the phenomenal Pankaj Advani, his journey should be a guiding light for all of us. And his passion, resilience, and dedication are a testament to the heights one can achieve in the pursuit of excellence. And his words resonate with each listener here today, inspiring us to aim for greatness in all our own endeavors, to each its own. Thank you, Pankaj, for sharing your wisdom and experience with us and to our audience. Thank you, Pankaj.
So,